What's up, guys? Welcome back to another Destiny 2 Forsaken weapon review video. And today we'll be going over probably the most dropped weapon in the game, probably in the beginning of Forsaken and probably currently in the game. It is the Edge Transit. Now, let's quickly go over the perks that I have on mine. We have Adaptive Frame, a well-rounded grip, reliable and sturdy. Then we have Hard Launch, which greatly increases projectile speed, decreases stability, and slightly decreases blast radius. And then we have Smart Drift Control, moderate controls recoil, increases stability, increases handling speed, and then slightly increases projectile speed. And then we have our magazine options, proximity mines. Grenades fired from this weapon have increased proximity detection. And then you have sticky grenades. Grenades fired from this weapon attach and impact and detonate on impact and detonate when enemies are in proximity. Then you have Snapshot Sights, faster aim down sights, and then you have Rampage. Kills with this weapon temporarily grant increased damage, stacks up to 3 times. Now, how to obtain this weapon? Since it is a Forsaken, just like general weapon, you can get it from completing almost any type of activity. It like drops constantly from a variety of activities. So if you haven't got one yet, I'd be surprised. Obviously, there's a fix that was implemented to where the drop rate was super high for some reason, but still, you can probably get this thing fairly easily. So here's a summary of my thoughts on what I use. So for the launch, I went with Smart Drift Control over Hard Launch for the increase of blast radius. Considering there's a bunch of launch options, I would go with the one that gives you a good amount of blast radius while keeping that velocity up. Those obviously are the two main things you want on a grenade launcher. Magazine-wise, I went with proximity grenades over sticky grenades because they're hands down the best mag perk to have on grenade launchers, in my opinion. Like, sticky grenades wouldn't be bad either, especially if you're trying to hold down certain areas and whatnot, but I think these two I got really lucky on because most of the other ones, in my opinion, aren't really that good. For my trait column number 1, mine comes with Snapshot, which for grenade launchers is pretty bad. Like, you don't really need to aim down at sights considering you're probably going to be hip firing this thing most of the time anyway. And I'd rather have perks like something like field prep so I can have more ammo, or rangefinder so when I do aim down sights, I would at least get like that faster velocity so my grenades can be flying across the map instead of taking their time. For trait column number 2, mine has Rampage, which is the best option to have in this column out of all the perks. The only other perk that would potentially be good would be something like Quick Draw. Being able to pull it out quickly and taking down enemies a little faster would probably be pretty good. But Rampage, if you're going for that DPS, Rampage is definitely the way to go. Mod-wise, I don't currently have a mod attached, like in the gameplay. Obviously, when you saw it, I had backup mag on, which gives it that bigger mag size. It jumped it from 5 to 7, which was pretty good. But another one I would use is something like the Freehand Grip, where it gives you that faster draw time, right? You get basically a mini quick draw, and you get better hip fire accuracy. So, I mean, obviously with grenade launchers, like hip fire, you're going to hip fire it anyway. So if you're more accurate, that's probably going to help out. Masterwork wise, I have a blast radius masterwork, which is good because blast radius isn't too large on this weapon, and my launch perks didn't really help out with that. It could be the archetype too, but other good masterworks to be things like velocity, reload speed, or magazine. So PvE wise, I don't have any footage, but I can safely say that it performs really, really well. Obviously, with mine having proximity grenades and Rampage, I can clear out hordes of bads extremely easily. Like, anything that has Rampage on it, it really doesn't matter what grenade you have as long as it's not a bouncing grenade. If it's an impact grenade, it's going to work out a lot better. So, especially for PvE, you're going to be able to clear out ads a lot easier. There's the implosion rounds or whatever, where it does more damage when you actually hit a target, so that'd be a good option as well. So I think grenade launchers are super underrated, especially for PvE, considering most of the endgame content requires you to have like Whisper of the Worm or Sleeper Simulant as your power weapon slot. If you're someone who's all about that crowd control aspect, you need to get yourself like a good roll on one of these things, man. Like, this thing can clear out ads super easily, do a lot of damage, especially if you got Rampage on. So some of the perks to have on like a PvE god roll would be something like proximity grenades, or grenades that detonate on impact, like I said, versus those bouncing ones, because if you bounce it, you could potentially completely miss the target, which is sad. Or like, I've seen it to where you can actually bounce it and kill yourself. So definitely try to find something in that range. Some traits to have would be things like field prep, auto-loading holster, Ambitious Assassin would be a bad option, either getting a bigger mag after some kills, and Rampage. PvP wise, in the Crucible, it can allow for some pretty big plays. I got a Slayer at the beginning of one of my matches with it. It was freaking wild. I'll be sure to put that clip in there somewhere. But again, grenade launchers are super underrated in PvP as well. Like, you just need to get the right set of perks to make it usable. Obviously, if you have a bad one, it's not going to work well. So, for example, proximity grenades and Rampage are key, in my opinion. Proximity grenades, you can aim it at somebody, and if they're in the general vicinity, they're going to get hit by it and most likely die in one hit. I've had it a few times where they don't die in one hit, but most of the time they usually do. And Rampage, obviously, you're going to want to be able to like keep like your damage up on those targets in case that same situation happens where they don't get killed in one hit. You can probably one hit them if you're putting out a little more damage. So being able to hit targets in midair without having 100% accuracy is great, saves time. Plus, every consecutive kill you get great damage. So I don't see the problem, right? So a PvP god roll would have things like a barrel or a launch that gives you a boost to that blast radius or velocity. Definitely proximity grenades. Rangefinder isn't a bad option either, especially if you aim down sight, get that faster velocity, you can smack people a lot faster, and it like definitely makes the launch a little more linear from what I found. And then you can do something like quick draw and rampage. Now for Gambit, can Edge Transit perform well in Gambit? In my opinion, 100% yes. Like, to be honest, mine works well for both PvE and PvP scenarios. Like, I got lucky. Obviously, with Edge Transit, you're going to get a bunch of rolls, so it doesn't really matter. But if you get something like this with Rampage and proximity grenades and stuff like that, it clears out ads quickly and effectively, plus putting out great damage on enemy Guardians is still pretty solid too. The only thing I would change would be Snapshot as my first trait column, and I'd either have Field Prep for that more ammo or Rangefinder for that faster velocity when aiming. I definitely for Gambit, you want to have heavy ammo. That's like the main thing everybody plays for. So if you have heavy ammo, you're going to be a lot more effective. I guess the big question is that can it replace Sleeper in the power slot? Obviously, Sleeper is getting a slight nerf when it comes to Gambit, a little less target acquisition, stuff like that. But still, I think Edge Transit can perform fairly well. Finally, my ranking is a 9 out of 10. Overall, it performs extremely well for the majority of activities, excluding the endgame content. Obviously, when it comes to like Riven, you're definitely going to want to put out optimal DBS. Obviously, people like Indica and Error, they can use Edge Transit and drop them within like the first encounter just because they're like already 600 and stuff like that, which is fine. But the only thing that I didn't like was how low the blast radius was. Obviously, for it being its archetype, which is adaptive frame, it shoots a little faster, which means the blast radius is going to be a little lower. So you definitely want to find the best combination for this thing, and yeah. Alright guys, that's my review over the Edge Transit Grenade Launcher. If you want to help support me, there'll be a link below, so the best way to support me. I'll take you to a 4-minute video. If you want to go check that out, that'd be awesome. But if you don't want to do that, you can always like this video, subscribe to the channel, share this video, turn the notification bell next to subscribe if you want to be notified when I drop some new content on the channel. And comment y'all want to see below again. Making content for y'all, so whatever you want to see, I'll try to get out there as quickly as possible. Obviously, with Forsaken here, there's a billion subclasses, new subclass paths, there's a billion weapons to go over, so I'm going to be doing most of that stuff there as well. Obviously, weekly recess stuff, Ascendant challenges, whatnot. And we also have the Discord link below. So if you're enjoying Discord, there's no requirements or anything like that. We also have some text chats going about Destiny 2 Forsaken, some other upcoming games. We also have some voice chats. I know for myself, I'm on Xbox, but for you people on like PC and PS4, if you want to talk to me, Discord is probably going to be the best way to do that. Alright guys, hope you enjoyed this video. We'll catch you next time.